Okay, good evening, everyone. It has been 2 weeks. Sorry, last week we did not have a session. So apologies about that. Something came up on our end and we couldn't really do it. So it's okay. You can see there's plenty of sessions happening at the moment. We have another series that's happening in May called the Going Deeper session. Which is basically for those people who did the 21-day course back in November last year through the Canberra folks, so Auntie Lynn, who did it via Sydney with Auntie Jenny, Uncle John Michelle, or even the Perth course in February. What they did was they decided to bring all those folks together and do a Going Deeper segment for this month. And they've got some great themes happening in that segment as well. And unfortunately, we have a bit of a clash for the month of May, where we have the Ashram series, of course, at 8:30 p.m. Sydney time. And then at 9 p.m. Sydney time is the Going Deeper segment. So that Going Deeper segment, like I said, has really interesting themes. And I'd highly recommend, if you'd like to check them out as well, if you ever want to look at their meditations. I believe this week is all about the mantras again. So if you need a bit of a rehash. And next week, which is their final week, is about the puja concept. So if you go to freemeditation.com.au/going-deeper, you can check out their series as well. Or if you need that information, just let me know, we can give it to you. So we do have that series also in parallel for this month. And then after that, what we're hoping is, I believe we're all going to sort of come together and be in this ashram series together as well. So there's a lot of programs happening. I know there's a lot of meditations, and sometimes it's like, what do I pick? It's a buffet of meditations. But honestly, like I've always said, go with your heart. If you just want a quick one, I think the Journey Within ones are really good on the Facebook group, because they're just quick half-an-hour meditations on different topics each day. But if you want something a bit more interactive, then of course you have your Ashram series. And then we have these other various sessions that also occur during the week, which you can always check out on freemeditation.com.au/webcasts. And then we also do have yogis.com.au/webcast. So there's quite a bit. I'll send the links again. But either way, you just go with your heart, take your pick, go with what you're comfortable with. Usually it's like if you prefer a certain type of instructor or yogis who are guiding, might stick with them. But sometimes it's also good things to change things up and try and see, what do others do as well, because you'll always learn something new. So I hope you're all keeping well, and hello to our YouTube viewers as well. We do have also, just as an FYI, those 21-day courses happening, like we have one in May also happening, hosted by New Zealand. And then we have another one happening in June that's going to be hosted by Australia, and as well as, I believe, some of the Asian countries in collaboration. So there's always 21-day courses happening these days. And if you ever want to tell family and friends, about Sahaja Yoga, then you can always guide them to the freemeditation.com.au website. And it's really easy to follow. They can choose which class they'd like to do and, the time that suits them as well. I can see Kirti, our second techie who has returned. She is posting all those links in our chat box, and we'll get Kirti to also post them in the YouTube chat so our YouTube followers can also have a look. So today's session, we know how much you guys love music, and so do I. And we have a lovely auntie here from New South Wales. So Australia as a country, we're about 7 states. And of course, you have your major cities like Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne. And Auntie Angela is from a beautiful town called Wingham, and that's about 3 to 4 hours from Sydney. So we can see her cameras on, and I'm going to bring her on stage as well. So it might be the first time you're all meeting her, and I'll do a quick intro, and then I'm just going to hand it over to her. So Auntie Ange and I, we met a few times, I believe, in Brisbane during pujas. And I got to know her more also musically in one of the Music of Joy tours back in 2015, where we went to New Caledonia. So one day when I decide each week, who's going to come and present to you all for Ashram series, I usually just let it be. I'm like, okay, Shri Mataji will decide. And after Rosie's session, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and Auntie Ange watched it as well, I was like, I want another musician. I love these music sessions. They're so fun. And I was just meditating, and Auntie Ange and I are Facebook friends, but we haven't spoken to each other for, I think, a good couple of years. And just one day I was just meditating, and bang, her name just came to me. And I was like, that's it, we're doing this. So we've got Auntie Ange. Hello, Auntie Ange.
Hello everybody. So happy to be here.
So Auntie Ange, unfortunately, you'll see a lot of names, but no faces at this stage because we can't really turn the cameras on. Actually, what I might do is, because it is Auntie Ange's first time, okay, if our audience are not too shy on Zoom, if you'd like to quickly turn on your camera, so you can't unmute yourself, but if you want to quickly turn on your camera, so that Auntie Angela can just quickly get to see you all. That might be really nice. So maybe Kirti, even Uncle Charles, Auntie Kumkum, if you're not shy. There we go. Just do a wave. So
Hello.
Auntie Angela can see some faces. I think we've got a bit of a shy audience, Auntie Ange, so
I don't mind.
no
That's
worries. Alrighty. Good to see Auntie Kumkum. Hello.
hello.
Okay, we won't put our audience on the spot too much. Okay, so Auntie, you're welcome to turn off the camera now if you like, so you can sit back comfortably. Thank you for turning it on.
Thank you.
So a little bit about Auntie Ange. Auntie Ange herself, she's a very creative being, a musician and artist. She is a primary school teacher. Oh, we've got Uncle Charles there, out in the blue ocean. Hello.
Hello.
So we got Auntie Ange, as I mentioned. She is a primary school teacher who works on a casual basis at a beautiful school at Wingham. Uh, Amazingly enough, the acting principal of that school is also a lovely Sahaja Yogi auntie, which I was thinking maybe one day to bring her here as well, Auntie Sarah. And Auntie Ange teaches history, art, geography, and she brings in her music to teach these children as well. So, Auntie Ange, that was just a very quick brief. Tell us more about yourself to our lovely audience.
I just wanted to share that it's a very beautiful part of the world where we live, and the little school where I work it's a little bush school, and it's actually not in the town of Wingham. It's in a little place called Boban, which is just a tiny village, really. But
Yep.
the lovely thing about it is that it's surrounded by nature, and behind the school is this beautiful river. And at the moment, with all the rain, it's very clean and rushing, and you can hear it, and it's really lovely. So we're very fortunate to be living in such a beautiful part of the world. I know really everywhere is beautiful, but it's just nice to have a school in a setting like that, surrounded by trees, and the children really love nature. and it's
Yep.
beautiful watching them playing in the lovely playground there. Yeah,
And
so
how many students do you have again, Auntie, at that school?
at the moment we have 17 children ranging from kindergarten up to year six.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a like one big family, I suppose, really. So they're all in the one class together. Sometimes they get, go to separate groups, but basically on the day that I'm there, which is on a Friday, I have all the children together.
Yep.
So, and it's really lovely. So we do lots of art during that day, and even when I do history and geography, because I'm actually an art teacher, I always bring some art into those subjects as well. I love to get the children drawing, and they enjoy it very much.
Yep. And
Yes.
what do you like? So, art being your favorite, what else do you like teaching the most other than art?
Well, actually, I'm really enjoying the geography and history, and um, it's funny. It's fascinating. Well, we get the map out and we look at parts of the world, and we've got two children have just come this term from Scotland.
Yep.
So last week we got out the world map. We looked at where Australia was, and then we looked at where Scotland was, and then we had a look where they travelled, and they stopped in Dubai on the way, and we just had a look at the map and talked about that. And
Wow.
whatever we do, there's always something interesting to learn for all of us, really.
Yes, there
It's
is.
just wonderful. Yeah,
Wow.
have a lot of fun there.
And as we know, Gayatri teaching is a very rewarding profession in any form, whether you're teaching Sahaj or a teacher at school, it is always very fulfilling. And Auntie Ange, though, on the Sahaj side, how long have you been in Sahaja Yoga? How did you come in?
Actually, it's been 20 years for me this
Ooh,
year, which is a bit of a milestone and so wonderful. And how I came to Sahaj was that there was there was a fair, in the local town, not in Wingham, but in Taree nearby, and I saw this interesting looking tent, and there were actually two yogis in that tent, and I went in and I saw the photograph of Shri Mataji, and I did went through the meditation process, and I just thought, wow, this is it, and then and we all the people that came that day, we wrote our names and addresses down, and then they contacted us, and we started our um, Wingham collective program
yep,
not long after that, and it's just been the most wonderful, absolutely wonderful time. We have beautiful people in our collective, and we all love to sing.
yep,
No, we've traveled together, and we've just had the most wonderful time in our spiritual journey, learning about Sri Mataji and Sahaja Yoga, and yeah, we all feel very grateful for it.
yep. And how many people do you have now in Wingham, your
So,
collective?
we have, I suppose, regularly. There's a core group of 10 ladies
Yep,
uh, who have been together now for many years. And then, we have some other newer yogis as well, who've been attending for a few years. And we're about to, start up a new program in our area. There's one going at the moment, which is over at the beach at Old Bar.
yep,
And yeah, it's just people mostly, come and go, but on
yep,
the whole, there's always a few who stay with us, which is always so special.
yeah. Wow. Thanks for that, Auntie Ange. And we hope, like we say to all of you guys as well, spread the word of Sahaja Yoga. Now you guys are all at that level, you're yogis. You've passed beginners, intermediate, advanced. So don't be shy to give realization to others as well, or do programs in your local cities. And like Auntie Ange said, and what we've seen, people will come and go. You may not get people staying, which can be a bit sad, but that's okay. Everyone's got their journey. But Shri Mataji has always said, just give someone realization and she will look after the rest.
So
And when I heard that, I was like, okay, just plant the seed, my job is done. So so it's all in her hand at the end of the day. And sorry, Auntie Angie, yeah, you saying
I
something?
just
Yes.
wanted to say that we've sometimes people will come for a certain amount of the lessons, and they might even go away for a few years, but
Yes.
come back again. And you know, sometimes they just need a little break, but it's surprising that when the time is right, they'll come back.
That's right. And I think we've had a few folks, even in our audience from our 21 days last year. We had some amazing stories of people. I believe someone once said, if I'm not wrong, something along the lines of one of the ladies, I think, grew up with her, I think, grandmother having a Sahaja Yoga book in her house the whole time. And sort of she kind of knew about it, but it didn't strike her until, yeah, she joined our 21 days and found, oh, okay, this is it. So amazing stories out there, what we hear when yogis come back. So
That's right.
yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Auntie Ange. And so this is Auntie Angela, everyone. This session today, like we said, we'll have a bit of meditation, mother's talk, and some music as well. And the theme is centered around nature. As Auntie Angie said, she does live in the midst of beautiful countryside, and she's always amidst that nature, even in the school she teaches. So without further ado, Auntie Angie, you all ready to go?
Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay, so I'll bring off myself off screen. We'll put up Shri Mataji's photo. And Auntie Ange, it's completely up to you now if you'd like to, yep, switch off the camera, no worries.
Thank you.
Okay, so sit back and, oops, muted myself, talking to myself. Sit back, relax, guys. Enjoy the next 1 hour. Again, if there's ever any issues with sound, anything at all, pop it in the chat box and just let us know. Don't be shy. Your feedback is also always welcome. Okay, so let's begin. We'll bring up Shri Mataji's photo, and then Auntie Angela is going to guide us. Over to you, Auntie Ange.
Putting our attention at the base of the spine, at the Muladhara chakra. And here we're going to ask the all-pervading power, Mother, please may I be an innocent person. And putting both our hands down towards Mother Earth. And here we can ask, Mother Earth, please absorb any negativity that I might have picked up throughout the day. And bringing both hands back to our lap. And we can put our attention on the Swadhisthana chakra between the hips. Mother, please may I be a creative person in all aspects of my life. And bringing our attention to the Nabhi chakra in the stomach area. Mother, please may I feel peaceful and satisfied. May all the world feel peaceful and satisfied. and bringing our attention to the whole void area. Here we can say, Mother, by your grace, I am my own guru. And bringing our attention to the heart area. And here we can feel the most beautiful flower, open petaled flower. And we can say, Mother, please may I be courageous, compassionate, and full of joy. And bringing our attention to the Vishuddhi chakra at the throat. And here we can say, Mother, may I please be a detached person. May I always speak sweetly to others. And may I be part and parcel of the whole. As I am the pure spirit, bringing our attention to the Ajna chakra in the middle of the forehead. And we can bring up our right hand and just put it across our forehead, rest our head into the palm. And here we can say with full conviction, Mother, I am not guilty. And Mother, I forgive. As I am the pure spirit, I forgive myself and I forgive everybody. And putting our hand at the back of the head and just tilting our head slightly upwards. Here we can say, Mother, if I have ever done anything against my spirit, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. And just bringing the right hand to the top of the head, giving it a little rub. And here we can say, Mother, please give me my connection with the divine, and please establish me and let me be thoughtless, be thoughtlessly aware. And just bringing our attention slightly up above the top of the head, we can feel if there's a cool breeze or warmth or any energy coming from the top of our head. Keeping our attention there, we'll just have some silent meditation for a few minutes. as rain down upon our heads, the softest rain. Sunlight sparkles on the spider webs, upon the webs in the rain. Upon our heads, the softest rain. Upon our heads, the softest rain. Flowers turn their faces to the sun on a winter's day. To the sun, to the sun, to the sun on a winter's day. Upon our heads, the softest rain. Upon our heads, the softest rain. The blossom time has come, joyful days have just begun. Moon at night will light our way as we travel to the sun. To the sun, to the sun, to the sun on a winter's day. To the sun, to the sun, to the sun on a winter's day. Flowers turn their faces to the sun on a winter's day. To the sun, upon our heads, the softest rain. Upon our heads, the softest rain. Upon our heads, the softest rain. Upon our heads, the softest rain.
So we'll now listen to Mother's talk, which is actually also about the elements and the subtle aspects to them. And just quickly saying a thank you to Auntie Ange for that beautiful music. And we hope the volume is okay for everyone. Everyone can hear it nice and loud and clear. And we'll definitely have a bit more music after Mother's talk. So we'll listen to the talk now.
For search yogis now, it's very easy to find out if something is real or unreal, it is truth or untruth, it is love or hatred. Only through vibrations you can know.
Sorry, everyone. I'll just quickly add here. This is now the full volume of the talk on my side. So apologies if you have to turn up the volume on your device, as I cannot increase it anymore. So please don't be afraid to turn up the volume further if you have to.
For search yogis now, it's very easy to find out if something is real or unreal, it is truth or untruth, it is love or hatred. Only through vibrations you can know. But going beyond that, I am saying, beyond that one has to know what are these vibrations and what are they made of. What is the subtle force which is behind those vibrations? We call it is Param Chaitanya, all right, Param Chaitanya. So, what happens to you when you get Param Chaitanya is something to be understood, the subtleties. As I said, we are made of 5 elements, all right? So when you get your awakening, when the Kundalini reaches Sahasrara and opens out your fontanelle bone area, you become one with the divine power, then this divine power itself starts flowing through. A connection is established. Now when it starts flowing through you, this Shakti, this starts flowing through you, then what happens? The subtle part we should understand. The subtle part is like this, that these 5 elements we are made of, these vibrations gradually start breaking into the subtler form of which they are made. So the first thing such a person has is the breaks, you see, as it is said that word is God. Said also in the Bible. The word is God. Now what is this word? Word is a silent, we can say, silent commandment. We can call it like that. But from that word comes, according to Indian philosophy, is another thing that we call as Bindu. Or we can say word becomes Nad, is a sound. And then it becomes the Bindu, means one small dot, you can say. And then from this dot, you see all these 5 elements start coming one after another. The first element that comes out is light. Tej, light, is the first element that comes out. So the essence of the first element is light. We call it Tej, Tejas. It's written, of course, in Sanskrit, but we should understand that how the light pervades Sahaja Yoga so much, and you see the light all everywhere. So the first element, which is light, and you can say in English, the light's subtle thing is, we can say, enlightenment, you can say. But enlightenment has another meaning. So we can say it's Tej. For example, a person who gets realization has a face which is very radiant. So you can say the radiance. The radiance is the subtlety of the light. So this radiance starts showing on your face. Radiance starts expressing itself. And with that radiance, people get impressed. And they start thinking something special about this personality which has radiance. Now you have seen my photographs also, wherever they are. Many a times you find lots of light around. That is nothing but the light in me is giving radiance, because the light becomes subtler. When the light becomes subtler in me, light is one of the elements. When it becomes subtler, then it gives radiance. And so, this is the subtle growth within you that takes place. Your faces also start shining. They too have radiance, and they too have a kind of a different complexion, I would say. This radiance is to be understood is the subtle of the light, of which we are made, light, in the gross manner. Then after this, from the light, comes the second thing, which we call as Vayu in Sanskrit, meaning the air. So the air that we have, which is gross air, what is the subtle of air is this cool breeze that you get. The cool breeze is the subtle of that air. So the subtle of what you understand as cool breeze is what we call vibrations. The subtle of that is air, which is a part and parcel of our making. So this cool breeze is the second thing that you start getting subtler and subtler. When your growth takes place, all these subtle things start expressing themselves. It's not only that you get vibrations, but you get the cool breeze, and that is the subtle of air that has built you. Then comes the water. We are also made of water. What is the subtle of water is sometimes English language, becomes little short of expression, but they call it, which makes the skin, hard skin, soft. The skin becomes soft. This is another sign of a realized soul, that his there's some cream they use, isn't it, to soften the face. But is the water in us, gives us very visible. This is the minimum of minimum, I would say. But then a person who is a realized soul becomes a very soft person, very delicate. When he talks to somebody, in his voice there is warmth. or I should say there is, कहते हैं ना अपने आप पानी, हिंदी में कहते हैं पानी होना. To have that flow, watery flow and coolness of the water. So that is the another subtle thing that should be expressed in your behavior, on your skin, on your dealings with others, that you should be like the water which is mobile, which is cooling, which is soothing, which is cleansing. So this also becomes a part and parcel of your being once you become a realized soul. With this water you have also another thing, we call it as Agni, means the fire. So you also have fire, but it's a very silent fire. It doesn't burn anybody, but it burns all the wrong things within. Whatever wrong things you have, it burns, and it burns the wrong things in other people also. For example, a person comes with a great anger towards you. What happens that this anger becomes cooled down with the fire that is there. Moreover, a realized soul cannot get burnt. Fire cannot burn. The burning cannot come to him. It's very important to understand. Also, if you are doing something wrong, it may burn you. But if you are a good Sahaja, and I should say a perfect Sahaja, fire will never burn. We have an example of Sitaji that she went into the fire pit, nothing burnt. So this is what one has to understand, that once you get to the subtleties of the fire, so the fire and the water, both of them become sort of divine. For example, the water which you touch, water you drink, whatever you put your hand in the water becomes vibrated. Means what? The subtlety of the water comes in it. The coolness, curing power also comes in that water. So when it becomes subtler, all these powers start showing, which you can see for yourself. You don't have to experiment. Then the lastly is the Mother Earth. It's most important, is Mother Earth. There's a photograph you might see which was taken in Russia in my dacha, where the Kundalini is in the Mother Earth. They've clearly. It's there. And it is the Mother Earth which shows. For example, I've seen flowers. If you keep them in my room, they blossom. They can become very big like that. Never people have seen such big flowers. Sometimes they say, I'm doing nothing, I'm just sitting down, and what happens to the flowers? You see, now there, this principle of the Mother Earth works. The subtle Mother Earth, his works, it's a mother. And that gives you all the nourishment and makes you grow healthy. And this is how this subtlety works of the Mother Earth. Mother Earth is the one who is a giver of birth to all these flowers and all these trees and all that. But it also plays a big part in us. It's not only the Mother Earth that exists without our connection. And we do not respect the Mother Earth. We have polluted it, we have done all kinds of things, we have removed the trees and we have made a mess out of her, but she is our mother. And so many subtle things of this Mother Earth come into us. One of them is gravity. A person becomes very attractive, not in the physical sense, but in the spiritual sense. Such a person attracts others. They feel attracted and they feel that something special is about this person. This is one of the quality of the Mother Earth. If she had not kept us attracted, we would have fallen off with her movement. And also other qualities of the Mother Earth also start manifesting within us, and we become very I should say, extremely uh, tolerant, patient person. Tolerant and patient. Extremely tolerant and patient. But if you are not tolerant, if you are hot tempered and all that, that Mother Earth principle has not expressed itself. Look at the Mother Earth, how much she tolerates our nonsense, how many wrong things we do against her, but still she tolerates. Sri Ganesha's quality is to tolerate, to begin with. Up to a point he tolerates. In the same way, we too become extremely tolerant, patient, and forgiving. This is the minimum of minimum that should happen to all the Sajogis who have vibrations. Because I have told you all the things that are expressed in your vibrations. It's a thing to be understood that what you have become now is something very great. It's not happened to others. It's not happened to somebody who is not been a Sahaja. You see the people who go to church or to mosques or to temple, see their faces. Look at them, how they do look like. They haven't got anything from the temple, they haven't got anything from the mosque, they haven't got anything from any one of these places where they go to worship. So that is artificial. That has become something, I should say, without any connection with the reality. Only after realization you are connected with reality and you can get the understanding of all these subtleties working through you. Why I am telling you this? Because I want you to know and recognize yourself, to understand what you are, what you have got. Once you recognize yourself and understand yourself, you can do a lot.
So I just like to remind, if you did increase the volume of your device, you can bring it back to your normal volume now, say about 40% or whatever you have comfortable. Um, because I believe after I think a little bit of meditation, Auntie Angela will do a bit more music, so I don't want you to get alarmed if the volume is too loud. So just sit in silence for a moment, keeping your attention on the top of your head. Take your hand, try and see on the top of your head. Are you feeling that cool breeze on the top? Like Mother said, the cool breeze that we feel really is a miracle. It's that subtle element, the subtle side of the air element that we feel. So now Auntie Ange is going to do a bit more music with us. And on the screen, we will have the lyrics of the music so you can follow along as well. These are pieces of music that she has actually composed, so they're not the bhajans out of the book. In those lyrics, you will also see some beautiful paintings that she has also done. So please enjoy this next section of today's program.
In my heart and in yours, pure love. In my heart and in yours, pure joy. In all the world, pure love. In all the world, pure joy. With love the sunshine glistens on the leaf. With joy the raindrop cools the earth. We are all one. In my heart and in yours, pure love. In my heart and in yours, pure joy. In all the world, pure love. In all the world, pure joy. With love the sunshine glistens on the leaf. With joy the raindrop
amazing, Auntie Ange. Thank you. I was silently applauding here.
Thank you. Everybody, just feel that love in your heart, that love and that joy, and it can spread out to the whole world. Smile upon the children of the world. May Shri Ganesha lend a helping hand, bringing peace to every boy and girl, bringing joy throughout this sacred land. Let all the children know that they are loved, so their innocence is safe and they are pure. A small symbol of peace, just like the dove. Whatever life may bring, May Shri Ganesha lend a helping hand, bringing peace to every boy and girl, bringing joy throughout this sacred land, bringing joy throughout this sacred land.
Thanks again, Auntie Ange. We'll now put her next piece of music, which is called Summer Rain or Vishnu Maya. This will be a recorded version of this piece of music that she has done. And as you guys might remember, when we learned the mantras and the deities, Vishnu Maya looks after your left Vishuddhi, which is the center where we feel that guilt. And Vishnu Maya is considered the sister of Sri Krishna. So you might remember we talked about the story of Sri Krishna, that he was, I believe, like the 8th child born to his mother, but his mother and father were imprisoned because a prophecy was told that his mother's brother, so basically his uncle, was quite an evil king. And it was prophesied that the son or the child of his sister is the one that's going to basically bring his doom. So being a horrible fellow, he imprisoned his own sister and her husband, and made sure he killed every child that she gave birth to, because he was afraid of his downfall. And so one of the child that was born, which was a daughter, he first thought that, oh, how can a girl harm me? Nothing can happen. But still, to be on the safe side, he still harmed or tried to kill that child, but that child was an incarnation and basically sort of flew up to the heavens, and in her thunderous form. So Vishnu Maya is also considered, it comes in the form of lightning and thunder. She basically said that, oh, the child that you've been trying to get rid of is actually safe in another village, because Sri Krishna was actually, his father managed to smuggle him out of the prison on a particular night and keep him safe at a village. So in a way, this sisterly form, which came in the form of thunder, said that, her brother's already safe, he's born, and he will still come after for his doom. So this is why Sri Vishnu Maya, Mother has said in many talks, she is the epitome of speaking the truth and not being afraid to speak the truth, so that we're not hiding in guilt or constantly afraid of being in guilt. So you can see Auntie's song, her lyrics reflect things like that. And so we hope you enjoy this next piece as well. Auntie Ange, Siobhan has asked us in the chat box, and I think I know the answer, but do you have a YouTube channel, Auntie Ange?
I don't actually.
I think that'll be our next step. So
Maybe one day.
maybe one day, guys. So no, Siobhan, she doesn't. I was quite certain she didn't, but I thought we'd double check. But please don't despair. I will definitely send these tracks to you, to all of you. Those in our WhatsApp group, I will send it. And of course, Siobhan, I'll send it to you by email. Any others, if you're not in our Ashram series WhatsApp group, I'll quickly add here. Please go to yogis.com.au/ashram and scroll down and join our WhatsApp group. And you can stay up to date with all the updates, the links we'll send you, and everything. And if you don't have WhatsApp, you can message me in Zoom your email address, and we can send you the resources there. So I think Auntie Ange has one more song she will share with us as well. So I'll hand it back to Auntie Ange.
Thank you. Like a seabird flying on the wind, lands on a tree in the garden. This is what she sings: all is love, all is love, all is love when we listen to the dove. I am a seabird flying on the wind. I land on a tree in the garden. This is what I sing: all is one when we listen to the sun. All is one when the day has just begun. Inspiration rising, flowing on the breeze, opening the flowers, shining on the leaves. All is peace when we listen to the bees. All is peace when we're singing to the trees. Music all around us, listen to the sound. Mother Nature singing, music all around. All is love when we listen to the dove. All is one when the day has just begun. All is peace when we're singing to the trees. All is free when we listen to the sea.
Oh, thank you, Auntie Ange. That was amazing.
Thank you. Everybody, I just hope that you feel that peace within forever.
Thank you very much. I think we will probably, I'll just bring Auntie Ange. So Auntie Ange, if you'd maybe like to turn your camera on for the last time, and we'll sort of bring the session to a wrap. So if you click on the chat box on Zoom, Auntie Ange, you'll see a lot of praises trickling in from all the listeners. And I can definitely say everyone has enjoyed it. Uncle Charles has said we can even create a YouTube channel. So I think we are going to get a ball rolling here.
Thank you.
But what we'll definitely do is, I know Auntie Angie sent me some recordings of some of the pieces of music. And what I'll try and do is just compile them all and send it to our viewers as well, so they can have a listen to it.
I'll be very happy that they can enjoy that.
Yes. And Auntie Angie, would you like to tell us, how do you get your inspiration for the songs? How do you create them?
Is my voice coming through too loud?
No, you're perfect. You're
Oh.
good.
Well, it's just from nature. Nature gives me so much joy, and the songs just come to me because I feel so much joy in nature. Like the first one I sang, The Softest Rain, I was actually just sitting out on my back steps one day looking at the garden, and it started to rain, and it was, that very soft rain. It's almost like a mist, and it just made me feel so full of joy that the words just came to me that way. They're very
Wow.
simple, really. They're very simple, childlike songs, but they're just expressing joy. And I think everybody should have a go at it, really, because it just makes you feel good.
Definitely.
Yeah. And the one about the children came about one day. I was out in the bush, and I was just thinking about the school children, and they had been through so much. Their school had burnt down in the bushfires, and um, one small building was preserved. Somehow, we don't know how the wind changed, and an old historic building somehow didn't burn, but the rest of it all burnt.
Wow.
Children were quite traumatized because it was, there were a lot of things happening at that time, and I was just feeling for them and thinking about it, and knowing that really with all of us, when we go through difficult times, it does make us strong, that hopefully it just helps us to grow and makes us strong. And
Mm.
so that's where that song came from. Um,
Yeah.
and just that, yes, it's just wanting to share that joy that nature brings. It's
Yeah.
inspiration.
What about Vishnu Maya? That one's always been a special one I've loved. How did that one come to you?
Well, it's an interesting thing that we live in a valley here. Where I live is called the Manning Valley, and the weather patterns that come, I don't know, somehow it just seemed to me that we have a lot of sisters here as well. It just feels like a valley of sisters. We
Yeah.
have a lot of sisters who are very close, love to sing, and so Vishnu Maya to us is very special, and also somehow or other seems connected to the rivers that are here as well. Beautiful
Yeah.
rivers that we have in this area.
Wow.
Creeks and mountain streams and waterfalls and rapids.
Yeah.
So I think that one just came somehow wanting to express that too. And I suppose being the Vishuddhi, it's quite a strong energy, really. And so the idea of the storms coming and cleansing just seemed like I don't know, somehow it just seemed to be the right thing.
Yeah. Wow. I actually like that term you just coined, the Valley of Sisters. I could totally see that as an album name. Like so that's really beautiful. And I think everyone, you guys might remember, as I just did a brief um, explanation about Sri Vishnu Maya, that again, being the sister of Sri Krishna, she also looks after our chastity and the brother-sister relationship. So like Auntie is saying that They have a lovely bunch of ladies in Wingham, and that bond or that sisterhood is also very special. And also what you feel in your collectives, the bond between a brother and sister, uncles, aunties, it's very pure, and it's really very amazing that we learn to view relationships in a very pure way again, because unfortunately the modern world now, we sort of pervert relationships sometimes. They always say, oh, a boy and girl cannot be friends, things like that, and that's not good, because it pollutes our attention in that way. So if we remind ourselves, and no, everyone's like a brother or sister, uncle, auntie in this world, it's really a very beautiful and very pure bond. So thanks, Auntie Ange. Thank you.
Thank you for expressing it so beautifully.
Welcome. Auntie Ange, before we wrap up, would you like to say anything else? Any closing comments or messages?
I'd just like to say to everybody, if you ever feel like drawing or painting or singing, do go ahead with it. And I think you'll find it will bring you a lot of enjoyment, and it's very fulfilling. Yeah, and
Definitely.
it will help deepen your connection with Sahaja Yoga and with your mother, with the Divine Mother. Somehow or other, being creative seems to help us to grow.
Yeah. And it opens our heart, as Mother said in many talks. Yeah, music, art, they all help us to go deeper.
That's right, yeah.
Wonderful. Very good. So thanks everyone on that note. And thank you again. A big thanks to Auntie Ange. I know it's quite late now, so Auntie Ange is probably ready for bed.
Ready to go now. I'm thinking. No, actually,
Oh,
everybody, I hope you're enjoying yourselves wherever you are, and do keep on with your meditation. It will be the most wonderful, fulfilling thing that you've ever done.
thank you so much, Auntie Ange. And thank you again, everybody. Like I said, Auntie Ange, if you click on the chat box button on the bottom of your Zoom, you'll see hundreds of comments trickling in, or not hundreds, but lots of comments trickling in of a lot of praise and thanks to you. So thank you so much, and again, Auntie Ange. It's been so great to connect with you. Your music came through loud and clear, so technology was on our side, which is good. And I wish you a good night, everyone else, a good night and a good day. I'll leave a bit of music playing. Auntie Ange did share, I believe, the Lotus song, which I might play that for the ending, and put Mother's photo up. So if anyone still wishes to stay back, meditate, you're welcome to. But thanks again all for joining, our YouTube viewers as well. Like I said, if you're not in our WhatsApp group, please go to yogis.com.au/ashram and come into our WhatsApp group, or you can share your email address if you don't have WhatsApp. And yes, we will definitely share the music files in the coming days as well. Thanks again, Auntie Ange.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. We all hope you have a good day or good night ahead. Jai Shri Mataji.
In silence, a flower in the sun opens petals to delight everyone. With joy we sing with open hearts, a new golden morning has begun. How wonderful, how sublime, we were born at this moment in time. How wonderful, how sublime.
лісом сонечко встало, зазеленіла молода трава, світло на серці та радісно стало, то прийшла на землю запашна весна, то прийшла на землю запашна весна. Ой, дона, дона, ой, дона, дона, ой, дона, дона, запашна весна, ой, дона, дона, то прийшла на землю, ой, дона, дона, запашна весна. Землю пада зернятко і наливається соком вугорця, бавиться в калисі миле дитятко, світле, як сонце, як вічне життя, світле, як сонце, як вічне життя. Ой, дона, дона, ой, дона, дона, ой, дона, дона, як вічне життя, ой, дона, дона, світле, як сонце, ой, дона, дона, як вічне життя. Десь у барвінках пісня лунає, чистим джерельцем прозорим стрімким, теплу веснянку вітер заспіває, пісню веселку голосом дзвінким, пісню веселку голосом дзвінким. Ой, дона, дона, ой, дона, дона, ой, дона, дона, голосом дзвінким, ой, дона, дона, пісню веселку, ой, дона, дона, голосом дзвінким. Там за гаєм біленька хата, вкрила черешню цвітом весна. Люба матуся нас зустрічає, скроні покрила її седина, скроні покрила її седина. Ой, неню, неню, ой, неню, неню, ой, неню, неню, мила моя, ой, неню, неню, люба матуся, квітка невинна, вічна весна.
naktranta